Welcome back. Of course, this is Sporty Monday, the most comprehensive sport show in the land. And right now, we look at AFCON 2025. Of course, it will be hosted by Morocco. And the draws were held. Our very own Harambee Stars are in Group J. Will they make it this time round? Let's cross over to Wycliffe Harambee, who has the details on the scoreboard. Wycliffe?
Well, thank you very much, Swila and team there. We'll be looking at the Group J, where Harambee Stars will be battling it out for top honors against Cameroon, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. Now, these are teams, apart from Cameroon, Zimbabwe, and Namibia, have not made it really that far in this particular competition. But let's look at how far they've gone in this competition in the past years. We start with Cameroon. They are five-time champions of the AFCON. And these titles they won in 1984, 1988, 2000, 2002, and in 2017. They've made the most appearances, 20 appearances in the AFCON tournament so far. And one notable thing about Cameroon is that the all-time AFCON top scorer of 18 goals is one Samuel Eto'o, who is from Cameroon. That's about Cameroon right now. Let's look at Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe have qualified for the AFCON 5 times. That is in 2004, 2006, 2017, 2019, and 2021. That's their last appearance in AFCON. They exited in group stages in all of those appearances. As I said, they have not gone far in this competition. And lastly, let's quickly look at Namibia. Namibia have made 4 appearances at AFCON, that is in 1998, 2008, 2019, and recently 2023. They were eliminated at group stages in their first 3 appearances, that is in 98, 2008, and 2019. But in 2023, they finished in the round of 16. That's where they were eliminated. That is in the 2023 tournament. And lastly, we look at our own Kenya. How many appearances? 6 appearances in the AFCON tournament back then. That is in 1972, 1988, 1990, 1992, 2004, and also 2019. That is their last appearance in the tournament. They will be seeking to make a return as the qualifiers get underway. Now, they were eliminated in group stages in all of those 7 appearances, never gone past the group stages. Best finish is 5th place. That is in 1972 when they first appeared for that tournament. So they'll be seeking, I'm sure they'll be motivated by their recent form, including winning of the 4 Nations tournament. They'll be motivated by that, which has improved their rankings. And of course, also dealing with the best teams, including Ivory Coast. We'll see how that goes. I think that is motivation enough to get them past the group stages in this particular coming tournament. Back to you, Swila.
Thank you, Wycliffe, there, breaking it for us on the scoreboard. And probably, Wycliffe, before I let you go, looking at that group, your own perspective, do you think the Stars have a chance?
I believe the Stars have a chance. Looking at how they have been, the rankings, rather, the FIFA rankings of these 3 other teams, it's only Zimbabwe who are below Kenya in the rankings. We have Cameroon, who I think 69, and we have Namibia, who are just above Kenya. And Kenya, I think, can do exploits when it comes to these particular tournament. Looking at the first team or the major competitor in this particular group, we'll say it's Cameroon. But looking at how Harambee Stars played in the World Cup qualifiers against Ivory Coast, I mean, Ivory Coast is a team that is ranked higher than Cameroon, and they managed to get a draw out of it. And I believe when they face Cameroon, they'll have that motivation that if we can deal with the heavyweight like Ivory Coast, who are Cameroon to us, I'm sure they'll get, even if it's a draw at worst, and make sure that they win at home all their home matches, that is against Cameroon and Zimbabwe. They are starting with Zimbabwe, then they next face Namibia. I hope if they manage to get all the points at home in all their home matches, I think they'll be in a better place to qualify, even if it's in 2nd place from Group J to advance to the tournament in Morocco.
Thank you, Wycliffe, there on the scoreboard, breaking down for us. And coming to you, gentlemen, Steve, I'll start with you. You've seen what Harambee has done there. But look at that group. 2 teams qualify for the showpiece. Of course, everyone is saying Cameroon are the odds-on favorites, and rightfully so. You've seen the profile of Cameroon. Kenya, 6 times making appearance, but it doesn't count. We are kicked out at the group stage in every episode.
I think we have given Engin Firat, I think, enough time to prepare this team. I think he has stayed on for a very long time.
3 years, I think.
So he's a coach who should put up a formidable team. And you remember when everyone was castigating Firat, I said, give him time. We have had several coaches, good coaches, but we've never given them time. As I analyze that group, I think Kenya is the most inconsistent in as far as qualification is concerned. Look, they qualified in 1972. The next time they qualified was 1988, and then 1990, 1992, 2004, 2019. Cameroon has qualified on almost all the competitions at AFCON. Recently, Namibia was there in the last edition in 2023. And I think Zimbabwe has also been consistent since 2017, 2018, and 20...
and basically, what you have on screen are just the fixtures. As you can see, we begin at home, hosting Zimbabwe. We go away to Cameroon. Basically, just look at that. Maybe, as you talk, can you also tie it to the essence of qualification? What must we do? Winning home matches?
It gives me hope because you castigated Engin Firat here that we performed poorly in Malawi. But we drew against a defending champion, Ivory Coast. So
but I still insist, Shitera, 3 years, what has Engin given us? It's not just about beating Ivory Coast.
I believe and I share his sentiments when he addressed the press, that this is a group that we will go through. And I believe that we can at least get position 2 and qualify, because Cameroon, you see, it's a country that they are wrangling in their federation.
And actually, we should aim.
We take that advantage.
You aim for the sun and reach the sky, or whichever way it goes. Whichever way it goes. But what is here? You see, if you look at that group, and he's talking of we should aim for runners-up. But from where I sit, actually, we should aim at topping that group. Because if you look at the Cameroon we have now, it's not the domitable lions.
It's a limping lion.
Days there. There's a lot of wrangles there. Eto'o's fighting with the government, the sports minister. The other day I saw they want to block him from vying for a second term. But again, you look at the current Cameroonian formation or outfit. Is a team Harambee Stars can stop if we are determined and we prepare well.
In fact, the records, Kenya and Cameroon, I don't remember the last time Cameroon beat Kenya. The best Cameroon has gotten from Kenya is a draw.
But was
away,
ages back.
Away in Yaoundé. Yeah, history. You see, history is used to predict the future.
The reason I've been so silent is because I wanted to really
address the nation
about this match.
Okay, address the nation.
This team is so close to me. When Harambee Stars are playing, those people who are close to me, they know what happens. Now, I will start where Stera picked it. That Engin Firat has been now at the helm for some time.
3 years,
although
actually.
We have to say that, of course, at some point, he went home after that suspension. But a lot of friendlies FKF have been giving us, including very top teams in the world. Now we don't have an excuse of saying we do not know the team going to those qualifiers. Sometimes I give flowers in necessary. Sometimes I pose hard questions. For example, why we see introduction of players during qualifiers are not friendlies when we're having a lot of friendlies happening. Now, you look at the window of qualification, there's something very special about these qualifiers. They happen between September and December, meaning that it's a very short window. The players will be coming and, you know, after a very short break, they are coming back. So it means that going to those qualifiers, let's have, for every position, the best 2 players possible in the land who can give us that quality that we need, instead of seeing changes all the time. I think it's a very big challenge to Firat. We're not saying that, of course, I know Firat always tells us that players who are doing well can come into the team anytime. But why don't we see some consistency in terms of the squad that can compete well? Number 2, I've looked at the fixtures and I've seen we are starting at home and we are finishing at home. My memory, if my memory serves me well, I remember most of the times we always play our last matches of qualifiers away.
Yes.
And against maybe the strongest team in the group. This time around, it's different. You have Namibia in the last match.
You see, real quick, if you look at that group, what must we address to qualify? That's
the third point I was coming to. Because I was saying, we are starting at home, we must start well and finish well at home against Namibia. This is the thing. When the draw was out through our reporter, Mwangi Peter and Stanley, we talked to top coaches who have handled Harambee Stars before, Francis Kimanzi and Twahir Mohideen. This is what they said, that these matches are very close, and we have the issue of stadia still not sorted out. So when we talk about home matches here, where is home exactly? We don't want to give Engin Firat, and I'm repeating this for the second time, an excuse before it starts that we are playing our home matches away. We have to get it right that before the qualifiers start for 2025, then we are playing our home matches indeed in Nairobi.
There is an application by FKF. Because at least the threshold for CAF is a bit lower than FIFA. So I'm hoping that CAF will grant us.
But you see, the issue is that Nyayo is closed and Kasarani is closed. So there is also the bit of FKF and government aligning. Importantly, Swila, is to say that when you look at we already been given a chance to host 2027. The best way to prepare for 2027 as hosts is by qualifying for this one, 2025. We play in it, and then number one, we benchmark through our team being there in Morocco 2025, and then by the time we're coming to play at home, we are not giving the world a picture that we are qualifying for 2027 because we are mere hosts.
Absolutely. Zita, really quick, your thoughts on this?
We should take advantage of the home matches, as Isia said. We should make sure that we have a place where all the Harambee Stars matches, home matches, should be played here in Kenya, whereby seeing the fans there, you saw what happened with the girls, with the under 17 girls. Seeing people that they're being called the 12th man when he's there, it gives you morale on when you're playing. So something else that I just need to add in this, I know now Engin Firat knows his first 11, and I hope we're going to take advantage of these, and as we prepare for the 2027 as we're going to host them, because I know and I'm sure that the opening ceremony will be done here in Kenya and closing ceremony will be done here in Kenya. If someone doesn't believe that, please put this on the record, because we are the best. But let us show again, we are not the best of only hosting the big events, but we're the best even in the field.
We are the best in the field. Orandi, probably in terms of squad selection, I'd want to tell this in 30 seconds. This has been an Achilles heel. Basically, it divides opinion. At times we see players based outside Kenya who are actually not competing in the top division. They get call-ups at the expense of locally based players who are doing very, very well. And probably up to now, that divides opinion. How do you foresee Engin navigating this? Because it remains very contentious.
What I want to start by saying is I hope Engin Firat is not compromised in any way in selecting his team. There have been such reports circulating around, so that you see him picking players who have not been active in leagues, especially those that are outside. And I hope this time round he will actually consider players that have been active, not just going by the names that he's been used to, the old names that he's been used to. Because now, talking of experience, you might have experience, yes, but you've not been active. You've not been having that time to play for the club. So I believe that he should make up his own mind and just sit down and say that let me do this my own way, and let him just select a team that he knows, because he is with them almost every time and he's monitoring them. There's a time that he was saying that he didn't have an opportunity to monitor some of the players, how they're playing outside. That's why it took time for him to call up some of the players. So I hope this time he gets his act right and make sure that he monitors every player that he has interest in.
Absolutely.
Just to add on what he's saying, let's again call the players that have papers and ready to play, so that we don't have this last minute call up in the national team, whereby because the papers were not fixed. Or
actually, that's really embarrassing.
That is so embarrassing, because you have a match tomorrow and then you're calling someone in today.
They don't have
they've not even prepared with the team. So let's take players in the camp that have all the papers and they have everything that will take them to the AFCON. Let's just be professional.
Absolutely. Let's be professional and get our act right as the Stars aim to be among the 24 teams at the 2025 AFCON finals in Morocco. And of course, the Basketball League action intensifies with the Giants fighting it out in the semis playoffs with an eye trained on the title. Isia, you can see the action there. I want you to talk to this real quick. How do you think this is going to pan out? We have Equity Dumas, we have KPA, the Giants lagging it out. Your real thoughts on this? Well,
it has been quite scintillating, very exciting playoffs, if you ask me. And the teams have been so, you see, the usual aspects have been there. Equity, of course, Zetec, and KPA. I was talking yesterday to our reporter on that beat, Dennis, and he was saying that at least seeing these teams, fight so closely in the playoffs shows that the game is really improving. And like we have said all the time, the best indicator of an improving sport is when you see fans going back to watch in a stadium or the courts. And I'm informed reliably that I've not watched directly, but like last weekend, how the Nyayo Gymnasium was
filled to the rafters, yeah, actually.
The Friday basketball night again is back. So yes, we are saying that it's something very exciting when you look at how the fans are turning up, how teams are fighting closely, and at least we're expecting the same thing to even now be reflected when it comes to the national team. I don't want to speak much about what City Thunder are able to do because they have been really too strong for us.
Actually, in the regular league, they've gone unbeaten. And actually, our very own Dennis Kamariki has been pitching camp there every night, actually, just to bring us those reports.
And City Thunder is all about how professional they are in managing the team. Because I was asking them, Kamariki and Berry, what's different here? And they were saying that the way the players, the way the structure of the club has been is so different compared with the rest. Having the best. So basically, we are saying that the potential is very big. And I always say that when a sport is doing well, we are having some good results in the league, then it's the work of the federation, for example, to make sure that also we see the same reflected when it comes to the national team, because I always breed for the Borans. I want to see them doing better because they have that big potential.
Absolutely. You remember when City Thunder were recruiting the new, they dismissed everyone and started recruiting from afresh when they had the sponsor came on board. And I did their first feature when they were just training for the league. And the coach has not only coached here in Kenya but outside Kenya, whereby he has experience. He knows what he wants and he knows what it means to coach the basketball. And then again, the foundation of you have to have a player that goes home with something that is very nice, and that's why they attract players that were playing outside